TGIF, the Christmas weekend is upon us and you're watching The Big Story with me, Harianto Diman. Subscribe to the Straits Times channel so you will not miss an episode. Customers shopping at FairPrice will only be able to buy up to 4 units of Panadol and Nurofen products in any combination. The policy, which kicked in on Thursday, comes following a spike in sales of fever, cold and flu medicines in the past week. The retailer is also urging customers to buy only what they need for personal consumption and to also consider alternative brands and products. The limit also applies to purchases at all Unity and Cheers outlets. This as MOH said on Wednesday that it may take a longer time to restock some brands. Singapore's inflation stayed flat across the board in November as the smaller increase in energy prices helped to offset rising prices of retail and other goods. Headline inflation was unchanged from the previous month at 6.7% year-on-year, while core inflation, which excludes accommodation and private transport, also stayed the same as October's level at 5.1% year-on-year. For 2022 as a whole, overall inflation is expected to average about 6% and core inflation about 4%. It's that time of the year again when a panel of 10 judges pick 10 worthy contenders for the Straits Times Car of the Year 2022. Now let's find out from ST's senior transport correspondents Christopher Tan and Lee Nian Jo on which cars made the top 3. Drum roll, please.
The winners in descending order.
Third place
with 273 points, the Kia Niro Hybrid.
Second,
276 points, the Toyota BZ4X. And beating that by just 1 point, ladies and gentlemen, announcing the Straits Times Car of the Year 2022, the Toyota Sienta Hybrid.
Here now is senior transport correspondent Christopher Tan, who is also one of the judges. Chris, the ST Car of the Year is of particular significance this year. It's the 20th edition of the awards. Did you ever think it would make it to 20?
Well, yeah, to be honest, I mean, 20 years, it's a long time if you sit down and think about it. But to me, it also seems like yesterday that we started this award. It's been a lot of sweat and work, but it's also been a lot of fun too. It was initially a one-man show, myself, but we've grown into a sizable team now, and I must say having a video element has given the award a lift.
Chris, now back to the winning car. No Audis or BMWs in the top 3 this year. Tell us about the Toyota Sienta Hybrid and what makes it the winner for you this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, premium mix do not always hog the top 3 over the years, but I will agree with you that they tend to do so, at least in recent years, which is why the judges decided to fine-tune the scoring matrix this year to balance all the driving-centric components with other things which consumers also care about, like practicality and value for money. In this year, practicality is replacing ergonomics. In fact, it is part of ergonomics, but ergonomics is part of practicality. It covers things like how easy it is to, refuel the car, how easy it is to fold the seats to get in and out, how the cabin is laid out, the cockpit, the steering wheel, can you adjust them easily? These things matter to people, how roomy it is, how spacious the boot is. Value money, of course, is how much bang do you get for the buck. I think these things, especially today, they are of great concern because, prices everywhere is rising. So let's talk about the new Sienta. The new generation Sienta is actually a quantum leap from the previous one. In the way it drives, the way it moves around bends and over bumpy surfaces. It's also a lot more refined and a lot better equipped. So I think, it is deserving. It is deserving to be the top car.
Maybe it's time for me to give it a go and go for a test drive with the car. Chris, as we approach the new year, are there any cars that we should be paying particular attention to?
Well, I think ST readers should look out for a story in the first week of January where I will be lining up all the new cars that they can expect in 2023. Without giving too much away, I'll say that there will be more electric models, right? A lot more battery electric cars, and as well as hybrids. So look out for the story, first week of January in the Straits Times.
So car buffs, you've heard it from Chris himself. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Senior Transport Correspondent, Christopher Tan. And speaking of lists, before we go, here is a look at some of the 50 images curated by our colleagues at the Picture Desk that sum up 2022's most unforgettable moments. I'm Haryanto Diman. Enjoy the long weekend and Merry Christmas.